This video is brought to you by Big Idea Design. They make titanium pocket tools and pins, like the bit bar, which is a screwdriver with a pocket clip and bit storage in the handle, and the TPT and the TPT slide, which hold a standard utility knife blade. They also recently launched a titanium EDC wrench and offer pins like the TI Click, TI Arto EDC, and the TI Pocket Pro. To learn more about Big Idea Design, click the links in the description, and you can also use the coupon code BESTDAMNEDC for $5 off any purchase over $50. And if you do, it'll help support the show.
Hey everybody, welcome back. My name is Taylor Martin. This is the Best Damn EDC, and it's time for another EDC Weekly. And if you are new here, I start each of the EDC Weeklies off with announcements because it is a community show. Last week I said I was going to give away a Best Damn EDC pocket logo t-shirt, so that's not this shirt, but it's the one with the pocket logo on the left chest. And to win that shirt, I said comment down below and guess what Carry Commission is. Carry Commission is a side project that I'm working on that is very closely related with Best Damn EDC. And I said guess what Carry Commission is. There were a ton of great guesses, and it actually gave me some ideas for what to do with Carry Commission down the road in the future. And while many people did guess correctly, Unsilent Zone was the first to guess correctly with this comment right here. So Unsilent Zone, I will be in touch and I will get you a shirt in the mail. Carry Commission is a store. It is the store that I'm going to use alongside Best Damn EDC. I didn't want to just sell Best Damn EDC stuff. I want Carry Commission to be the place where you go to find everyday carry gear. And I want to bridge the gap between you and all of those indie makers out there and even the bigger brands. I want to make finding EDC gear easier. That's the whole purpose of this entire thing. And I wanted to separate those brands for a number of reasons, only because I think I'm going to run them a little differently. Best Damn EDC is a community. It's all about community, and Carry Commission is going to be all about the gear. So Best Damn EDC and Carry Commission will be Carry Commission by Best Damn EDC. Hope you guys are excited about that. I am very excited about it. It'll be a couple of weeks before I'm ready to launch, but things are moving very quickly, and I cannot wait for you guys to see Carry Commission. With that said, I want to keep the ball rolling. This week, I'm going to give away a Big Idea Design titanium pocket tool, so the original, the TPT, and if you want to learn how to enter to win a TPT, watch the video and I will tell you how somewhere throughout the video. With those announcements out of the way, it is time to get started. This week, there is no theme. I just went through, I picked some stuff. I wanted to do some budget-friendly stuff, but I couldn't do a full budget-friendly episode. But really, there's no one overarching theme. It's just a bunch of really cool stuff, some really expensive, some really cheap, and some DIY. So with that said, let's do the thing. Last week, a couple of you pointed out that I did not have whiskey with me on the show, or coffee for that matter, and that's true. And it's because I moved into this office. When I got here, I realized I had forgotten to bring the whiskey. So this week, I have my glass, which is actually an old Tang glass.
Tang to the extreme!
If you drank Tang growing up, then you get 50 internet points, which are good for nothing. But inside here this week, I have some High West Double Rye. You can see it right back there. The other thing I wanted to start doing is tell you guys what I'm carrying this week. And I went back to the Benchmade 943 as my knife. I just switched to this today, actually switched back to it. I'm also carrying the Urban Organizer as my wallet. I've got my cards in the back. I have a Benchmade proper in there, and I have the Big Idea Design TI Click. And on my wrist is a Spinnaker Cahill, which I really, really like this watch. Just wanted to get that stuff out of the way because you guys always ask stuff like that, like what's in the glass or what watch am I wearing, what knife am I carrying? There you go. I almost forgot. March starts today, the day you're watching this video, and that means it's going to be a totally new month with a totally new giveaway. And to start this month off, I'm going to do a Discord-only EDC Weekly. That is going to air next Friday. So next Friday is Discord only. So if you want to be featured, you have to submit the normal way, but you also have to go over and join the Discord and submit there. So if you want to be featured, that's your chance. And that's going to be your best chance to get featured because it's at the beginning of the month, which means there are fewer people competing against you to be featured in the show. Take that as you will. Join the Discord, submit your EDC the normal way and in Discord, and you might get featured. All right, first up this week, we have a submission from Benjamin. You can find him over on the website at Cormen, that's C-O-R-M-E-N. First up, I have to say this picture is really nice. I had to brighten it up a little bit because it was really, really, really dark and moody, but I like the picture a lot. The moodiness just grabbed me and pulled me in. First up, we have his phone of choice in the top of the photo. That is the Apple iPhone 6s. He carries that in a bamboo case. Beneath that is the Benchmade Barrage 581 with the assist removed, so it's not assisted open. And he also has a Citizen Eco Drive as his watch that is next to that, the BV1085-22H. Next to that is his flashlight of choice. That is the EagleTag D25A, which he said he removed the clicky shroud from. He also has a custom Celtic ring and a Right in the Rain pin. That is the flat earth gray version of it. And I just have to say that Flat Earth is a horrible name for a color of a pen. But beside that is the Right in the Rain mini notebook. He also has some sunglasses in this carry. Those are the Oakley Holbrooks. And the gloves that I was talking about earlier at the bottom of the photo are the Outdoor Research Iron Sight gloves. On top of those are his Burt's Bees lip balm and his keys, which include an Olight i1R EOS and a Victorinox Classic SD, as well as a homemade key organizer. And in the middle of the photo underneath everything is a homemade wallet notebook cover that he also made himself. But it's good to see some new stuff here on the show. We don't see a ton of barrages from Benchmade. We don't see a bunch of gloves or sunglasses, and this is the stuff that I feel is real, stuff that people carry that they don't always include in their EDCs or their submissions because they feel like maybe it detracts a little bit from it. And that can be the case sometimes. Sometimes there's just too much in a photo, but this one, I think it's tasteful. Anyway, Benjamin says, thanks for checking out my EDC. I never guessed some of the things I grew up having on me daily would become so interesting to everyone. 20 years ago, these things were just common pocket tools. Now the industry is massive. And yeah, that's the thing. It wasn't really a thing before, even though it was a thing, but now we have something to call it. Just everyday carry. I've tried to explain that to a lot of people recently, and I think a lot of people are really interested in the fact that people are so interested in it. Right? Does that make sense? A watch has been long-standing and durable. Not changing batteries was a big selling point for me. Benchmade is more for kitchen duties at home or while at sled camp or even just camping through the summer. With it de-assisted, the fidget factory has gone way up. The notebook and pen have been great recently as I've found the need to keep notes more often. I'm at a point in my life, though not very old, where I leave the remotes in cupboards after getting a cup, so short-term memory is not the best anymore. I did have to add an extra spring to the pen as it does feel somewhat sloppy. My ring was made by an older jeweler in the small town I grew up in. He has since passed, but I will wear it as long as I can. He does say that it had a cultic band in the middle that rotates. The sunglasses and gloves are not the best in the world. However, as previously stated, I tend to leave things around so they will be great until I lose them. The wallet is hopefully the first of many to come. I have recently started working with leather and I love it. My plan is to continue with it. This is the basic gear kept on me as of now. The dedicated defense light is in my jacket pocket as well. Army Tech Doberman. While my everyday bag is also not shown, it does go with me daily. It would be too much for one photo. As a retired Canadian Forces and search and rescue technician, some habits die hard. Basic trauma kit is always with me daily and needed cords and chargers. The bag also gives me a place to keep water, snacks, and my tablet. Lastly, I noticed many people with firearms. In Canada, firearms for defense from people is not allowed and not particularly needed. Wilderness settings are another story, however. While in the woods, my Defender comes into play and will stay with me all day. In remote areas, you are your only help. There is no calling for help. You need to be able to hold your own. Very cool. Thank you, Benjamin, and thanks for... You didn't really tell us what the gloves and sunglasses were for, but I think if you are out in the Canadian wilderness, then maybe that just makes sense. It's an obvious thing to have gloves and sunglasses in the Canadian wilderness. Really cool carry. Thank you for sharing, Benjamin. And I agree about the notes. One of the reasons I started carrying this is for the full-size or the pocket notebook. I've been taking notes, writing things down, keeping business cards in it, and writing down to-do lists, and it's been really helpful for my time management and my productivity lately. I am not really good at marking everything off every day because life happens, but it's just been a really neat addition, and I kind of get the whole field notes thing. I've carried them for a long time and never written in them, but now I've started carrying that and writing it every day, and it's fantastic. It's really great. Anyway, thank you for sharing, Benjamin. You now have a second entry into the February giveaway. The next submission, I chose this one because I saw the name first before the photo. This comes from Emma Sanders. You can find her over on Instagram at Emma I Sanders. And yes, her. I said that correctly. We have another female submission here, and I love seeing females submitted to the EDC Weekly because you girls are included. You also carry stuff every single day. And again, I can't always include purse dumps. I've had a couple of those submitted. I can't include those just because there is so much to purse dumps. You are a female and you're watching this and you want to submit to the EDC Weekly. I would say take your essentials out of your purse, not the stuff you carry every day, because I know how Alex's purse is. She has a purse and you open it up and it looks mostly empty, but there is something in every single pocket of her purse every single day, and that thing weighs a ton. I would say just pick some of the things out of your purse, like the essentials, the stuff you cannot go without, and anything like gum or those other odds and ends that, you know, they're innocuous. leave those out. They don't have to be in the photo. It's just people want to see the gear that really matters to you, not necessarily gum or lip balm. It's just my 2 cents as the guy who picks these things to feature them in the show. Anyway, from Emma, we have a handmade leather wallet. And what's interesting about this handmade leather wallet is she said that she couldn't find the perfect wallet, so she made her own. And inside that leather wallet is what is called a figuretta card insert. It's very similar to the Secret or the Andar Pilot wallet, where you push the button or pull the tab at the bottom and the cards fly out of this hard insert. Below that are her keys. She has a Victorinox Classic SD attached to those inside of a DIY leather Classic SD slip. She also has a 9-ties doohickey pry tool, an SP 16GB flash drive, and a DIY key organizer. Next to that is the watch, which is the Casio A158WE, which is a remake of a retro Casio watch. She also has Blistex lip balm in the top right of the photo, and in the bottom right is her phone of choice. That is the Samsung Galaxy S8. Emma says, "This is what I carry on a daily basis. Sometimes I tend to swap out my watch for another one. I made the wallet almost a year ago. I couldn't find the perfect wallet, so I made it myself. I always carry my Blistex lip balm. I find this one to be the best. I made a minimalist keychain out of a cheap KeySmart knockoff. I took the screws with the extension tubes and attached a keyring to it. I did this by folding a canvas strap in half and poking a hole in it so it could fit the screws and tubes through it." So basically, it's a Chicago screw with a little piece of canvas that is also put on the Chicago screw, which is pretty clever. So that is attached to a keyring, and that's her key organizer. I did something very similar with a U-bolt from True Utility, or you can do it with one from a hardware store. I made a video about this maybe 2 years ago, 3 years ago. I'm not exactly sure when I did it, but it's just a U-bolt, and you can put your keys on it and some O-rings, and you have a key organizer for $2-3. Works great. I carried that for a very, very long time. But yeah, this is really neat. You can see the ingenuity here. She didn't find a wallet she wanted, so she made her own wallet with pieces of another, made her own key organizer with pieces of another key organizer. Just pretty cool. I think that's really ingenious. Ladies out there, if you have an EDC, please don't feel like you can't submit. You're part of this community too, and I want to see more women submit their EDCs to the show. Maybe if we get enough, we can have Alex do an episode. I think that'd be pretty cool, but I don't know if she'd go for it. We could try, right? We can try. But seriously, if you're a female and you're watching this show and you want to submit, do it. I will do an all-female episode at some point in the future. Anyway, thank you for sharing, Emma. You now have a second entry into the February giveaway. So while the previous submission was pretty budget-friendly, this one is the complete opposite of that. This submission is very expensive and very nice and very much titanium-based. Comes from Theo Lee. And first up, we have the Mick Gizmo Haiku flashlight, which is really hard to find on the internet, or in general, period. He also has a Chris Reeve Small Sabenza 21, as well as the Dango D01 Dapper wallet. His pin of choice is the Felholter Tiny Bolt Action Pin, and he also carries a Victorinox Classic SD in black, and also attached to his keys is the WGW patch strap. WGW stands for Weapons Grade Waifus. That's a thing. Aside from that, the rest of this carry is badass. The Felholter is really, really nice. Of course, you guys know that I'm a sucker for titanium as well as many other materials, but titanium, it's just kind of this elitist material that we all love, but it's so damn expensive that it's hard to justify in a lot of situations. But here we go. We have a titanium flashlight, pin, and knife. Theo says, "If you can't tell already, I have a predilection for titanium. Much of my EDC is composed of this metal, and I value titanium for its unique properties and aesthetics. I'm also a college student, so carrying a knife that is people-friendly is particularly important to me, hence my choice of this small Sabenza. But if there was one piece of gear that I couldn't go without, it would be my flashlight. Flashlights are what led me into the EDC hobby as a whole, and they're the crux of my collection. I like to make video reviews of high-end flashlights and other gear in my free time." Well, Theo, if you had linked your YouTube channel in your submission, I would plug out to you, but I couldn't find you on the website, couldn't find you on Instagram, and I don't know what your YouTube channel is. And I've been bitten by the bug. I have been bitten by the bug. I've gotten so many great knives lately, but I just have to try a Chris Reeve Sabenza. I have to. And I have to blame Peter McKinnon, because I've seen so many here. I've seen so many Sabenzas submitted to the show and over on Instagram and everywhere. But Peter McKinnon, I didn't really know he was much of a knife guy or an EDC guy until he started posting. He's got a secret Instagram account, which I'm not gonna disclose here, but he's posted his Sabenza on there a bunch. And of course, EDC Alabama and his Spidey hole customized Sabenza, it's wearing on me. I've got to see what the buzz is all about. You guys complain that I'm hard on your wallet. You're hard on my wallet too. Anyway, thank you again for sharing, Theo. You now have a second entry into the February giveaway. Struggling this week, man. I can't, maybe it's the whiskey. Maybe I need more whiskey. That's it. That's definitely it. The fourth submission this week comes from Levi Quale. I actually shared this over on the website and Instagram earlier this week. And this is the budget-friendly EDC that I was talking about earlier, but it still looks great. The point that I made when I shared this on social is that you don't have to have an expensive EDC for it to be themed. You can go budget-friendly with quality gear and still theme your EDC with colors or materials or whatever. You can find Levi over on the website at Day Drinker. First up, we have the Smith & Wesson US Military Dive Watch. He also has the Lingzi tactical pen, and his earbuds are the Dudios Bluetooth earbuds. His phone is the Xiaomi Pocophone F1, and he also has the BestTech Paladin as his knife. He has a leather bifold wallet, just a generic black leather wallet, and at the bottom of the photo is not the Victorinox Classic SD, it's actually the Wenger Esquire Genuine Swiss Army knife. Finally, in the bottom right of the photo is the Get2Hand multi-tool. So most of the stuff here is off-brand, and that's perfectly fine. Now, I think you should get some name brand stuff if you can. Like a multi-tool, more than likely an off-brand multi-tool will get the job done a lot of the time, but it will also break on you far sooner than something like a Leatherman or even a Gerber will do. It's made out of cheaper materials, cheaper metal, and it will break, but it gets the job done. And that's all that truly matters at the end of the day. If you can carry it and be confident that you can get your job done, so be it. No shaming budget gear. I just don't support knockoffs, which none of these seem to be straight up knockoffs. They're just off-brand, which is totally fine. But a knockoff, such as those knives on Amazon that look exactly like Chris Reeves Sabenza, but are not, that's not okay. But this stuff, these are just tools. These are just tools. And they work, they get the job done. Levi says, this is my first ever EDC / pocket dump submission and my first time gathering all of my stuff for a photo. It's super budget friendly and far from anything fancy, but it gets the job done every day. There you go, like I was saying. The orange wasn't planned, but I did admittedly buy the pen once I noticed the watch knife match. The watch is a Smith & Wesson military watch picked up at a local sporting goods store a couple of years ago. Next, we have my BestTech Paladin. I love this knife, and this color was the cheapest option on Amazon. The phone is my beloved Pocophone F1. The wallet is just a random box store bifold that I use for cards, money, and my driver's license, as well as it looks like a hunting license, maybe fishing. In the photo is my fishing license. Next sentence, 3 words away. And this year it happens to be orange as well. It stays tucked behind my driver's license that was removed for the photo. My earbuds are Dudios Zeus wireless Bluetooth earbuds, and I absolutely love them. Next is my Wenger Esquire, which is a mainstay. Lastly, we have a cheap multi-tool, which I've seen on Amazon under a few different brandings. It's low cost, fairly sturdy, and always comes in handy. I have other knives, watches, pens, and multi-tools that get rotated out depending on the day, but everything is well used and appreciated, especially at work. Someday I'll add the nicer stuff that I really want, such as the Travax Axis and the Leatherman Skeletal, for example. For now, I have no complaints, and I love the tools at hand. I love the videos. Seriously, dude, keep up the great work. Carry on. Thank you, Levi. I totally agree. We're both on the same page about the budget stuff. If it works, it works. Don't be ashamed of it. Upgrade when you can. Save up for that grailed multi-tool or knife, but use the stuff that works and you've got while you have it and appreciate it for what it is. Thank you again, Levi. You now have a second entry into the February giveaway. Last but not least, with a really cool and interesting different picture, is Ethan Mawhirter? No idea. And I also couldn't find him over on the website or on Instagram or anywhere. First up, we have a handmade leather wallet, which he made himself when he was just 16 years old, which is really, really neat. And his knife of choice in the bottom right of the photo is the CRKT Polar. He also has the PSI CP-8000 pin. He also has a fossil watch in the left of the photo, a Zippo, the Day of the Dead Zippo, and a Husky multi-tool. In the top of the photo is what is called the fish face multi-tool from True Utility, and in the bottom next to the Polar is the US Air Force Challenge coin. Ethan says, I'm a 19-year-old out of Huntsville, Alabama, and know my gear isn't the most coordinated or beautiful. All my gear has sentimental value to me. Due to my bank account size, I like to skate by with the cheaper or handmade things. I've been carrying the majority of my gear for a minimum of a year, and it clearly shows. I can't wait to get deeper into the rabbit hole as a young enthusiast. This is my first handmade wallet. I made this when I was 16 for a week after school. It's been great other than the dog taking a bite out of the corner. I had to cut it to make the half circle shape in the spine. Years of wear has caused it to darken in shape to me as well. It's called patina, and it's beautiful. The knife has been nothing short of amazing. Yeah, the blade steel isn't the best, but I enjoy sharpening the knife in my own downtime with a fine whetstone. I find every excuse to use it. I saw the reviews online and the price sold me. I'm currently saving money so I can buy the Launch 7 or the CRKT Polar Large. My father gave this to me as a high school graduation present. He's talking about the pin. My dad was on a business trip in Jordan and he bought this for me at a local market. It has some wear on it, but the patina is finally showing through and I love it. So I don't know if he actually made this pin, but most of these PSI pins are kits that you have to turn yourself. So maybe he did, maybe he didn't. I don't know, it doesn't specify. The cheapest fossil watch they carry. I bought it because it was a graduation gift to myself. Even though it was $100, it finds its way on my wrist and it goes with everything. Plus, with the warranty, it's hard not to enjoy it. As for the Zippo, it's just the traditional flint and lighter fluid, sadly, not the jet flame. My father actually gave this to me when he was deployed in Egypt in 2012, and I don't think I'll ever not have it on me. It always makes it into my 5th pocket. That's the utility pocket, man. Get it right. Some random Husky multi-tool that I sometimes wear, but I usually throw it in my pack. There's another on the keychain called the Fish Face. I picked it up at a local Ace Hardware. I honestly use the pry bar more than anything. Also, side note, true utility stuff is all over Amazon, but if you go into an Ace Hardware, they have like entire sections for true utility multi-tools. They've got pry tools, multi-tools, knives, all sorts of stuff. But really, their best thing is probably the telescoping pin or that D-shekel I was talking about earlier. It's the most simple thing, but it's so good. Finally, he says, I was awarded this coin when I was a senior in high school. It was an AFJ ROTC, and I was doing an honor guard event for the Missile Defense Agency. My team was awarded by a general, and it was very humbling. Our performance was broadcasted across the country on private servers. Well, this is very cool, and it's good to see that you are young and still into this and building up for the stuff that you truly want. It's very much like the last submission. I love seeing this. I love people just getting into it, and this is precisely why I want to do that series I was talking about, like Fix My EDC or something like that, where you can say, I want to upgrade, I'm not sure what to get, what should I do to fix this EDC, or upgrade it, or complete it, or whatever. So excited to do that series. I love that there's some sentimental value to a lot of the pieces in this actual carry, and it will make it difficult for you to upgrade when the time comes, but also you'll be pretty excited about upgrading when the time comes. So either way, enjoy the stuff while you have it. Keep it around forever if you can or want to, and you're not an utter minimalist who doesn't keep anything that they don't absolutely need. Anyway, thank you again, Ethan, for sharing. You now have a second entry into this month's giveaway. It's time for me to tell you how you can win the TPT, and I haven't actually thought about that yet. To enter to win the TPT, all I'm gonna ask you to do is comment down below and list for me the items that make up a basic EDC. Wallet, keychain, knives, whatever it may be. Tell me what the bare minimum to be considered an EDC is. I'll choose a comment at random and you will win a Big Idea Design TPT. That is going to do it for the show. If you found this video helpful and you enjoyed it, be sure to hit that thumbs up button below and subscribe to see more stuff like this in the future, and hit that notification bell so you're notified when I upload new videos. If you would like to be featured in a future video, go to edcw.co to submit your EDC. All you have to do is submit, and when you do, you're entered into a monthly giveaway. That giveaway is for a Big Idea Design TPT, a Hitch and Timber card caddy, a Rovivon Aurora flashlight, a Griffin pocket tool, a Yellow Birch Outfitters pocket organizer, and a KeySmart rugged. So all you do is go to edcw.co, submit your EDC, and you are entered to win. If you are featured here on the YouTube channel, over on the website, or on Instagram, you get an additional entry, and that's all there is to it. If you want to support the show, everything you saw in this video will be linked down below. If you click through those links, it helps support the show by giving us a little bit of a kickback, but it doesn't cost you anything extra. So it's a way for you to buy the gear you're going to buy anyway and help support what I'm doing here. If you want to help support even further, you can go to patreon.com/BESTDAMNEDC, and you can find us around the web. You can find us on Twitter and Instagram at BESTDAMNEDC. You can find me, Taylor Martin, on Twitter and Instagram at CasperTech. And until next time, carry on.